Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. We're just outside Paphos and we're going to head through Lower Paphos along the Tomb of the Kings Road, out through Clorica, Kisonaga, get to Paphos, take a left and go down the Coral Bay Strip. So sit back and relax, perhaps get yourself a cup of tea. It's going to take us about 20-ish, 25 minutes or thereabouts. And of course we're going to stick to the speed limits because I warn you now, there are boys and girls in blue and little camera vans all parked up, and guess what? They're waiting, and they really are. Especially for you and of course for little old me, especially at this time of night, because of course it's that little bit cooler and they can find a tree or two to keep themselves in the shade while they wait for us. And you may have noticed the sun is low in the sky. We're on a bit of a sunset drive, quite late in the afternoon. It's just gone 6 o'clock and we're heading deep into downtown Coral Bay. So if you want to see the Coral Bay Strip and all of its improvements, this could be that video that's made especially for you. Big shout out to some of the guys that like to come back and watch the show now and again. Perhaps if your name's Lady Ali, Sir Neil, and of course the two dads. They'll be coming back to Paphos very soon indeed, and booking themselves into somewhere in downtown Coral Bay, and I'll bet they'll be strutting the stuff on the Coral Bay Strip very soon indeed. But hopefully they'll come to the Paphos Harbour and celebrate the grand event of Sir Brian's birthday, and hopefully we'll get to sit and have a chat and sup on a drink or two. So this is the inner ring road, as we call it, which will take us straight through Lower Paphos along Tomb of the Kings Avenue and straight out into the area known as Mortablus, and then we'll mosey on down into Lower Clorica, head towards Kisonaga, then to Paphos, and then, like I say, we're going to take a left onto the Coral Bay Strip. Now the speed limit predominantly around Paphos is 50 kilometers an hour. It does fluctuate a little bit, goes up to 65 and then drops straight down to 50 again. Of course that's designed to catch you, so be careful if you're in one of these red plated cars when you're driving around. Otherwise, when you take that car back, there's going to be a list of speeding fines or traffic violations waiting just for you. And if you are curious to know about cars driving around, by the way, the one in front, for example, it's got a red plate on it. What does it mean? Well, that tells you that it is a lease car. Now that can be one of two things: a hire car, which predominantly they are, or they can be a car that's leased through a business. So normally if you see a Nissan Note or something like that, it's a hire car. But if you're following a guy in a Lamborghini on a red plate, probably he's got his own business, or he's got some money from somewhere anyway, and he's managed to get himself a Lamborghini on some kind of lease plan, and of course that means it would be on a red plate. Take for example the car in front of us, that's on a yellow plate. Well, those are the old style plates, and there's no legality to change from the old style to the new style. The new style is white plates, so white front and back on the older style, yellow on the back and white on the front, like it was in the UK. And the newer style plates normally have the date of production of that car right in the middle, with the month and the year, for example. The only other type of plate you might see when you drive around is a bright yellowy orangey plate, front and rear, and normally they've got a taxi sign on the roof as well, but that's a taxi. So there you go, explaining to you the number plate system in downtown Paphos. Bit of information and a bit of trivia. Where are we now? Well, Universal's on the left hand side, and on the right hand side, by the way, this road literally goes straight through the centre of it. So like I keep saying to people, if you've booked places to come for your holiday, or perhaps you're thinking about booking somewhere, isn't it? Just because it says Universal in the area doesn't mean that it's that close to Paphos and the promenade and the harbour area. Again, the magic words Paphos don't mean that you're that close to the promenade and the harbour. So if you want to be close to the promenade and the harbour area, drop the location, the name of the apartment complex, the villa or the hotel that you're thinking about staying in, and tell us what you want from that holiday, and we'll do our very best to give you an unbiased, impartial review of that little place. And hopefully the idea is to make sure that you get what you want from your holiday, because a lot of people are coming to Paphos for the first time, so of course they haven't got a clue As long as it says Paphos in the title, they assume that perhaps they're staying right down by the beach. Not always the case. So drop it in the comments. What do you want? What's your age groups? How many of you come in? Do you want a chilled out holiday? Do you want a party holiday? Or do you want a bit of both? And we'll do our best to get back to you. Now, coming up on the left-hand side of these traffic lights is a big church. And if I remember rightly, Sir Ian told me it was called the St. Antonio Church, which is quite easy for me to remember because my middle name's Anthony. So I'm pretty sure that I got it right. Ian, if you're still watching, drop it in the comments. Now, these traffic lights got to be very careful because they've got cameras on them. So if you speed, they get you. If you go over the line when the lights are on amber or of course on red, guess what? They get you again. There you go. These governments and their money-making plans. Rant over. Coming up now, if you look carefully, there's like a steel construction about 6 to 7 meters off the ground. That is the Paphos Skywalk. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's the most exciting adventure in the world, but if you are in this area, 5 minutes of your time, of course you are raised up that little bit, you get some slightly cleaner oxygen, and of course you get a slightly different view and perspectives of the world. So it's free of charge. Why not go and have a look at the Paphos Skywalk, and then perhaps turn this way and come down Tomb of the Kings. Along here, bars, restaurants, hairdressers, the King's Avenue Mall is there. All things are on here. So if you're in this area on your holiday, don't worry. You've got plenty of things to keep you occupied. And of course, you can either take the scenic route along the coastal pathway or this route into the harbour and the promenade. So if you're in Tomb of the Kings, go to Paphos in general, shall we say, universal, you're going to be doing all right, and you're going to get a great holiday, like I say. It's starting to get busy now. People are starting to come out. They've done their sunbathing for the day. They've been in the pool. They've been in that blue Mediterranean Sea. And of course now they're looking for somewhere to go and sup on a pint. What about the Pit Stop pub just over there on the right-hand side? I remember going in there not that long ago with Baron John and of course Baroness Louise. They're coming back to Paphos soon, and of course we're looking forward to gallivanting in and around downtown Paphos and perhaps sampling a drink or two. You never know. We might even go and, well, I was going to say sing a rhyme or song or two, but probably more likely murder one. Although John and Louise, they can sing quite well, but not quite as good as that singing sensation, the Baby Barn Hawk, and of course, Harry the Keeper. Yes, indeed. Tomb of the Kings Avenue on a pleasant evening, by the way. If you are curious to know what the temperature is, 31 degrees, and the humidity has fallen away definitely over the last couple of days. They're actually even saying that we're going to get a bit of rain, which I don't think so, but maybe up in the mountains. Did you see that naughty boy in the taxi in front? Yeah, did you see the cloud of smoke coming out of his back as he went through a red light? Terrible, absolutely awful, as if I would do something like that. My goodness. Anyway, Tomb of the Kings, you've got the King's Pub on the left-hand side. Over there you've got the, I can't even say it, Martellia, I think it is. It's an Italian restaurant, does some great pizzas. Next door to that is a Chinese, and just up the road from that is KFC. Yeah, so if you fancy a bit of finger-licking good chicken, that could be one of the last stops on this particular part of this road before you have to walk quite a long way to get to the next place if you fancy a bite to eat. And as we come to the roundabout at the end, we've got the Tomb of the Kings, and that's an archaeological site where you can go and look at some mosaics and some, well, tombs basically. So €2.50 is all it's going to cost you. Got to show an ID, and then you go, and of course you can wander around, and on top of that there are some great views of that blue Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, here it is on the left hand side, by the way. Nice big car park if you've got a bus or perhaps a hire car to park up, and you can be in there all day for that €2.50, by the way. Well, until they throw you out, which in the summer season is 8 o'clock, by the way. And one or two people have been there, one or two people like it, and one or two people don't. It depends on your cup of tea, doesn't it, shall we say. This chap, he likes it. See, he's taking pictures. Doesn't want to pay the $2.50 to go in, but he's taking pictures, you see. So he must fancy going in. Perhaps he's going to go in on another day. Perhaps his wife wasn't interested today. Coming up next is the Venus Beach Hotel, and that is a 5-star luxury hotel that sits on the cusp of the blue Mediterranean Sea. And if you want to see us storm that reception, go on this YouTube search bar, pop in the magic words Marika and me, and of course Venus Beach, and guess what? We'll take you on a little adventure. And to the rear of that is the Venus Beach, by the way, and that is one of the best beaches in the whole of Paphos, and it's had some great improvements, some new pathways, some nice new steps, new toilets and showers, and of course on top of that it's a golden sand beach, and on top of all of that you get to feast your eyes and to digest, and perhaps even dip your tootsies into it. And of course that is that blue Mediterranean Sea. So this is where the dual carriageway comes to a single road. Why they built a dual carriageway through the centre of a busy area, I don't know. I remember commenting about it when they were doing it. But, you know, if everyone drives at a sensible speed, I suppose it doesn't matter if you've got cars flying at you in two directions if you're a pedestrian. At least, well, if you get hit by one, you'll get hit by another one and it'll all be over. Only joking, only joking. If you are crossing a road, wherever you are in the world, obviously be very, very careful. Always look left, right, and then do it all over again, because otherwise, yeah, it could end in tragedy. Now, on a positive note, let's keep going, because downtown Clorica is coming up very, very soon indeed. And this area now has certainly moved up market since when I came to Cyprus 15 years ago. They're building villas now down by the beach. There's villas up in the hillside on the right hand side, and the prices, oh my goodness, I mean, I think you'll struggle to find an apartment for $250. I do believe that would be a struggle. And if you're looking for a 3-bedroom villa, 4-bedroom villa, you're going to be, well, I'm going to say knocking on the door of €1 million, but I think perhaps even over €1 million. And if you want to spend 3, 4, 5 million, no worries. It's very, very easy to do indeed. Now this on the left is the King Eliathan Hotel, or as I call it, the King Elephant Hotel. And of course we know some superstars who are coming to stay there very, very soon indeed. Big shout out to Lady Heather, and of course Lord of the Steve. They'll be coming to Paphos in November, and hopefully they'll come and spend a night or two with myself and Marika in the downtown gate of Paphos Harbour, because we'd love to see you guys again very, very soon indeed. So downtown Clorica, you've got uptown Clorica, by the way, and the old village. This is where the confusing. It's quite a big area, Clorica, and if you take a left right now, you would literally drive all the way straight to the Clorica beachfront. If you want to see a little video on that beach, well, you know what you do. Marika and me, Clorica Beach, and guess what? We'll be dancing, we'll be prancing, and talking a lot of mumbo jumbo on that beachfront, especially for you. It's a bit rocky, but there are some little hidden sandy coves, and if you've got a towel, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a great time indeed. So as you can see, the traffic is quite light, isn't it? Not much going on, and I haven't seen a policeman or a policewoman yet, or a camera van, but that doesn't mean that they're not waiting for you, so stick to the speed limit. It's 50, I'm doing 55, and that's okay, because they're not going to take a picture of you or stop you unless you're doing 60 or above. So they're quite generous. What's that? 20%, isn't it? So not bad, like it was in the olden times in the UK. But slowly but surely, of course, zero tolerance will be coming to Cyprus as the governments decide they want to make that little bit more money out of us. Let's take it easy here, because these are traffic controlled traffic lights again. If they go to amber and you go through, or if you feel clever and boot it, either way, you're going to get done. Leonardo Lara Beach Splash Resort, there's that one on the left hand side, believes to be a very, very nice hotel indeed, by the way. I once went in there to meet some people, and the foyer was really, really nice, and it's got a great view out the back and some great little undulations and one or two rocks or two, and it's set that little bit above the blueness of that blue Mediterranean Sea. Baccarat Lounge, that's on the left. great place to go and sup on a hot latte or a chilled latte, especially if you've got a couple of barons as gumbarus. Of course, big shout out to Baron Jeremy and of course Baron Simon. We'll be coming back to Paphos again very, very soon indeed. And we are looking forward to seeing you guys. We really, really are. And so is the Kings Avenue Mall, by the way. Helios Bay Hotel and Apartment Complex. If you fancy an Indian, Paphos is on the right. And that is believed to be, I'm not an expert on Indian food, but I know one or two guys who are. Perhaps that man known as Shady Tree and his girl, Shady Lady. Paphos, anyway, is believed to be the best Indian restaurant in the whole of Paphos. But drop it in the comments. Which Indian restaurant do you think is the best? And slowly but surely, we're going to start to visit more and more restaurants, and probably once a week we're going to pop up a food eating reviewing idea of a video. So pop in the comments, where would you like us to go? Hopefully you guys like the changes in the channel, by the way. The videos for driving are going to be slightly longer now, and I'm going to give you slightly more information as I drive, so don't click off. And of course, if you do like what you see, hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a single penny. No, I promise you, YouTube will not charge you a penny. All they want to do is find out if you like what you see, and then of course they can choose to recommend it to more like-minded people like yourselves. But if you want to keep the channel afloat, it's very, very easy indeed. All you got to do is hunt the link, buy me a coffee, Marika and me. It's on our About page, and of course you can Google it as well. There you can go and read that a little bit more about us, and of course read a comment or two, and then hopefully join the club and gift us that virtual coffee or two. And of course you can also join us as a Superstar member, starting off at only €10 a month. And I'd say a big, big shout out to one or two of those guys. Nantwich Crew, Lady Jessica, Lord of the Simon, Princess Megan, and of course my little mate, Gangster Max. Thank you very, very much indeed. Lord of Liverpoolshire, that's our Lord Kevin, and of course his girl, Lady Kathy, coming to Paphos very, very soon indeed. There's a man in downtown Cornwall, he's a Duke, and he's got his very own Duchess. Duke Phil, Duchess Sharon, thank you very, very much indeed. The list goes on, and of course we would like you to join us as Superstar family members. This is downtown Kostoninga, by the way. Lots going on around here. Lots of villas are, should we say, hidden in the undergrowth, and this is quite a popular place for people to come on that relaxed holiday where they are equidistant, shall we say, from Coral Bay and the harbour. Obviously you need a hire car. Well, you could use buses, but that's, yeah, I would get a hire car. But it means that you can then go and explore the area. You can go to Paya, you can go to Angus St George, you can go up to Cathicus, you can go up into the hills, and of course perhaps on a Saturday night go into the harbour. But of course in the daytime you can chill out by your own private pool, perhaps with the odd farmer wandering around a field, but you know what I'm saying, you can have a nice relaxed and tranquil holiday. This coming up now is the Kostoninga Crossroads. If you take a right, you would wiggle and waggle up to the older part of Kostoninga. There are some new properties around there as well, but predominantly it's the older part. If you keep going straight like we're doing, we're heading towards Paya and of course Coral Bay. And when we get to Paya, their little roundabout, we're going to take a left and we're going to go down the Coral Bay strip. So don't click off just yet. But before we get there, we've got this little place on the left hand side, and as we can see, its car park is pretty busy because that is probably the most popular beach bar in certainly this area and maybe even the whole of Paphos. It's called the CU Beach Bar, and one or two of our superstars like to go there now and again. Lady Heather and Sir Steve, they like to go there. Sir Richard, of course, Lady Julie Nash, and of course my little mate who's not that little anymore, of course, Viscount Leo, like to go there. And on top of that, there is a gentleman who is the greatest drug pusher in the world, and he's got a girl in his life who's always, 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 always right. Big shout out to Sir Daniel and of course Lady Sherry, who's always right. And talking about girls who are already right, there's a man who's going to grab her by the hand very, very soon indeed. That's our Sir Johnny of the Debt, and of course he's going to be bringing with him his very own beauty, and of course that is Our Lady Amy, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys very, very soon indeed. The list of people coming back to Paphos in the next few weeks is endless. Dame Anne's coming, Lady Ness is coming, Lord Andy's coming, Sir Peter's coming. The list goes on and on and on and on. Nantwich crew, as I've already said. Anyway, we're on our final ascent into downtown Paya. The bit sticking out on the left-hand side is Coral Bay, the Coral Bay Peninsula, and Coral Bay Beach is renowned to be one of the best beaches in Cyprus. Just next door to that is the Coralia Bay Beach, which I believe is actually better, and a lot of people agree, and it's not quite so busy because it's not quite so famous, and I think the view is just that little bit better. But you drop in the comments, which do you think is the best beach in Coral Bay? Is it the Coral Bay Beach or is it the Coralia Beach? And if you've not known them and you've not seen them when you come to Paphos, make sure you get on that bus and come and have a look, because they are two fabulous, fabulous beaches. And of course, when you're done, you can prance and dance up and down the Coral Bay Strip and find that perfect place to get that breakfast, that lunch, or that evening meal, or just sit there and sup on a pint and watch the world go by. So this is Paya. Well, not quite yet, but there is a white sign just over there on the right hand side with green lighting which says welcome to Paya Municipality, and there's a sign right there saying bye bye from Kisonaga. So bye bye Kisonaga and hello Paya. Next stop, Coral Bay Strip. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and of course if you like what you see, hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Please don't forget to keep on coming back for that little bit more of my complete and utter madness as I take you on my travels in and around Paphos. And of course, if there's somewhere that you'd like me to take you, drop in the comments. And you never know, that video may be coming very, very soon indeed, especially for you. And if you want to see more fun and games, perhaps if you want to go join Marika on her little channel, that's Marika and You. Search for it on YouTube, or the link on this channel, Marika and Me. If you want to see me buying cars, selling cars, and monkeying around in cars, Cars and Me, that's waiting for you. Again, search for it on YouTube, or perhaps go and get the link from our About page. And of course, this is downtown Coral Bay. And one or two of the bars are starting to get busy, and of course they're going to get busier and busier as people like you guys party the night away. And it doesn't matter what night of the week it is, in July, August and September, Coral Bay is a very, very busy place indeed. So perhaps if you're coming for a special meal to one of these restaurants, you might be wise to get on that internet and book it, or perhaps in the daytime pop in and make sure that that table is going to be reserved for you. If we keep on going, we head to Coral Bay Beach, and if we keep on going out a little bit further, Coralia Bay Beach, then we would work our way deep into Sea Caves and eventually towards Argos St. George. I'm going to say thanks for watching. I thank you for your company, and I look forward to seeing you guys again very, very soon indeed.